You may find it easier to solve a multi-step absolute value equation if you first isolate the absolute value expression on one side of the equation. For example, problem 2, solving a multi-step absolute value equation. It says, what are the solutions of 3 times the absolute value of x plus 2 minus 1 equals 8? Graph the solutions. What's different here is the absolute value part of the expression on the left isn't by itself. It's not isolated. So we can think of that as though it were a big variable. We could imagine the absolute value of x plus 2 to just be the variable y. And then we isolate it just like we would in a two-step algebra equation. So we'll get it by itself with inverse operations. We'll start by adding 1 to each side. That'll bring us to 3 times the absolute value of x plus 2 equals 9. Then we'll divide each side by 3, just like we would if it were 3y equals 9. That brings us to the absolute value of x plus 2 equals 3. And now we're to that point that we should be a little more comfortable with. The absolute value stuff is by itself. So at this point, we split it into 2 equations. X plus 2 equals positive 3, and x plus 2 equals negative 3. These 2 equations, when we work them out, will give us our up to 2 solutions. On the left, x equals 1, and on the right, x equals negative 5. So these should be the 2 values of x that when we substitute them into the original absolute value equation, satisfy it or make it true. To graph these, we plot them on the number line at positive 1 and negative 5, as shown here. But then to check them, because it's always a good idea to check our work by substituting it back into the original equation, 3 times the absolute value of 1 plus 2, plugging 1 in place of x, minus 1 equals 8. We're questioning that, whether or not it's true. And as we work it out, it turns out it does. 8 equals 8. On the right-hand side, we do something similar, substituting negative 5 in for x, and work it out. 8 equals 8. Your turn. What is the solution of 2 times the absolute value of x plus 9 plus 3 equals 7? Graph the solution.